NFL playoffs are here, and this matchup on wildcard weekend is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Eagles and the Saints, all that and more, coming up next.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we're on the road to the Super Bowl. Coming up, a contest that looks real good on paper between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New Orleans Saints. Alongside Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott, and the NFL playoffs are finally upon us. We don't know who the teams will be just yet, but one thing we do know, partner, whoever makes it through to the end of the gauntlet ahead has truly earned a spot in this year's Super Bowl.
It's really what the regular season does. It gets you battle-tested before you take the field in these playoffs, where it's win or pack your bags. When we saw these guys in Week 1, neither of them were Super Bowl ready. But watching them now, I think both have a real shot at winning it all. They're gritty, they're tough, and they're ready for this moment.
Return's looking good so far. And it's a nice return here. They'll tackle him shy of the 35. So the Saints offense taking over for the first time here. They'll be led out by the former first-rounder back in 2017, Deshaun Watson.
After winning the national title at Clemson and early success at Houston, there's no question that Deshaun's career has been slowed by some injuries and other challenges. But when he is on the field, at every level he's ever played, he's just got a calm. And that calm comes with the trusting of talent that he has in himself. He knows how to run, he knows how to throw, and when he's available, he's still a difference maker.
2nd and 4. This is reeled in by Wilson. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. All set up now for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Watson. Got his target, it's Hill. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. 2nd and 3 now. Running behind center with Kamara. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that first down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
First down, and they go right back to it. This is ahead for about 5. It was Reed Blankenship making the stop. Halfway there on first down, that brings up 2nd and 5. Injuries like these haven't stopped them from locking up a playoff spot, Brock. They've been able to fight through them to remain one of the best teams in the entire conference.
I mean, I love that word, fight. It's definitely the key one here. There's been tremendous fight, grit, toughness up and down this roster to keep their level of play despite all these injuries. And they've gotten some tremendous fight out of the players who've stepped into those shoes and taken advantage of the opportunities.
Kamara now on 1st and 10. And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. Brought down on the effort by Quinyon Mitchell. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made. Give him 9 on that play, and it's enough for the first. They run it from the gun with Kamara. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. The Saints finish up an excellent opening series. Alvin Kamara, the touchdown. Groupie's extra point is good. And the Saints will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Here's Groupie on now to handle the kickoff. On the return, Britton Covey. And he gets crunched by a big hit right at the 25 to end that return. So here are the Eagles now for their first drive. They're led out by an incredible score through the air and on the ground. He was picked 53rd back in 2020. It's Jalen Hurts.
Kate, it's not often that we talk about quarterbacks having a nose for the end zone in football. It's usually reserved for the running backs. But Jalen Hurts has changed that conversation. He has so much power, so much strength. You get him into the short...
His first throw is an interception. That's DeMario Davis. And the Saints take possession down inside the 30 after the interception. Well, for their sake, partner, I sure hope the rest of their pass attempts this game go a whole lot better than that, because it is pretty clear this defense came to play.
And I can promise you this, Kate, nowhere on that opening script does the word interception ever appear. You never want to see an INT. Now they're going to have to flush it. That's the key here for this quarterback in the offense. Got to flush that mistake and press on ahead.
Escapes the pocket. This one's caught. It's Shaheed near the sideline. And he takes this one nearly to the red zone before going out.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4. Give him about 16 yards on that gain, Brock, and it sets him up with first and goal. Into the hands of Olave. And he's tackled for no gain. Now following that completion, we see a man shaken up. Officials calling for a pause as he gets looked at. Second chance at 6 here. It's second and goal. Kamara. And he's in for the touchdown. The Saints take a 13-0 lead. Alvin Kamara, the touchdown. Groupie to try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Saints drive out to an early 14-0 lead. Here's Groupie on now to handle the kickoff. Returning it from the 4. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Now for the second time this game, we're going to look at the Philly offense. And a big setback for them to overcome early, Brock, giving them points off that interception. And for a quarterback, a tough way to start the game as well. They got to shake that off.
Yeah, but this is where you really do start to see just the cream of the crop. The quarterbacks that are the best in this league flush, no matter what the circumstances are. But especially the negative ones, you flush them away and you go persevere.
They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
They run it with Saquon Barkley. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
From the 46. That pass complete to Goddard. And he'll head out of bounds after a short gain.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
Ready now for our second quarter. The Eagles have the football. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. Finds him over the middle. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. From the pistol, Hurts. That's caught. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's brought down at about that 27-yard line. That's 16 on the pickup. And that's a Philadelphia 1st down. Early movement along the right side. The flag comes out.
False start, offense.
So tough to stay set when you've got defenders doing everything they can to make you jump, and, well, they got one of them to move that time. They're set back 5 by that false start. Now 15 yards to the marker. Hurts throwing again. His quick throw knocked away, incomplete. Jahan Dotson, the intended receiver. And that makes it 2nd and long. Gonna go with Barkley on the counter. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Brought down by Paulson Adebo. Gotta figure out this 3rd down here. Hurts setting up to throw. Forced out to his right. Oh, he's gonna run for it. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a 1st down. The kick by Hopkins is good. And that'll get him back to 11.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
This return starts at the 5. They'll have decent field position to begin with here. Brock, he's tackled just beyond that 30-yard line. The Saints and running back Alvin Kamara trotting back out to the field. They have played lights out on offense. Scored their first 2 times out, Brock. A chance to go 3 for 3 and grow that lead here. 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Now 2nd and 19 at the 22-yard line.
Trying again following the sack. Rolling left, buying some time. Now he takes it, and he reaches the 35 before going out.
Well, once a play breaks down, you're just looking for a running lane. Just a little bit of room, just a little bit of air in the pocket. He found one of those 2, but the defense swarms towards him and denies him the other.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Gets this one to Shaheed. And he's out of bounds after getting this to the opposing 45. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And the Saints are going to have a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
From the gun, Watson. That's complete to Wilson. Good little rip there. Looks like about 6. Cooper to Jean with the stop.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
It's a 3-yard gain, only a yard shy of the marker on 3rd down.
You know, kid, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
Oh, and they're going to have the fullback driving power for it. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the 1st down.
At the end of the year, you look at the stats and you realize these fullbacks don't get a lot of touches, but the best of them, when they do get their chances, well, they execute.
So we're at the 2-minute warning here from the Superdome. The Saints driving ahead. He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Watson. Getting out to his left. He tucks it and takes off. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after it looks like a yard gain. That's Nolan Smith there for the stop. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9.
At the 28-yard line.
Watson looking to throw. Completes this one to Hill. And they stop him. He's marked down along that 18-yard line. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
From the red zone now. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. The Saints calling for a timeout. They're first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
At the Eagles' 28-yard line.
Let's see what they dial up on a second and very long. Man in motion here. Another try following the sack. Hitting Olave on the slant. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Timeout taken by the offense, their second. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Going jumbo set on this 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. It's a New Orleans touchdown. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. It has been wash, rinse, repeat for them offensively, Brock, as, well, we all wait for this defense to find a little backbone before this becomes a runaway.
Yeah, I'm a little torn up here in this booth because you're exactly right. Offensively, this is just machine, surgical. Defensively, you're running the risk of being embarrassed here pretty quickly.
Here's Groupie on now to handle the kickoff. Covey now to return this. And he's walloped just as he gets across the 25. What a hit. He's down shy of the 30. Just over 30 seconds left in the half as they come to the line. On 1st down, Hurts. Flushed out of the pocket. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. Offense to the line for 2nd down. So we're to the half in this NFC wildcard contest. Now we'll send you east to our studios in Orlando. That's where Jonathan Coachman is waiting to bring you the EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, what you got for us?
Okay, Kate, thanks very much. This, the second of our 2 games here on this Super Wildcard Saturday. We'll get it back out to you 2 in just a minute. But first, time to look ahead to Sunday's action here on the NFC side of the bracket. And this one looks like it should be a dandy, as it'll be the Green Bay Packers matching up with the Detroit Lions. We just watched a solid first half from the veteran running back, Alvin Kamara. He chipped in a couple of touchdown runs as he was running with determination right from the word go. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
Covey now to return this. Big lick from the coverage team there, and that's going to stop the return before it can get to the 30. So to begin the 3rd quarter, the Eagles offense returning to the field. In that first half, they just couldn't keep up the pace, but they're going to be the ones setting the pace here to begin this 3rd quarter. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. He was looking for Dallas Goedert there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Hurts. Has him on the quick hitter. Continuing to move past the 45. It's a pickup of 34 yards. And that's good for an Eagles 1st down.
You know, Kay, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
1st and 10. Here's Hurts. Completes this one to Jahan Dotson. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down.
It's a gain of 25 yards. And an Eagle 1st down.
Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. Cut near the goal line. And this one stopped at the 3-yard line.
I'll tell you this, you don't want to make a living throwing into double coverage, but double coverage and still finding a way to beat the defense and haul it in. That's not a situation many players win, and a lot of quarterbacks willing to make that throw and trust their receiver to get it done.
They get 2 on the play, and now they've got 1st and goal.
Hey, Kate, you want to see a picture in the football dictionary of staying on schedule? That was it.
Barkley will not challenge for the end zone. He loses a bunch here.
You know, Kate, during draft season, I was talking to an NFL GM, and he said, you know what, in time, we're going to realize tackles for loss are just as big a deal as sacks. Sacks get so much of the popularity. Tackles for loss, when you knock that offense backwards, I promise you, in time.
And he gets in. Touchdown, Philadelphia! The Eagles cut into the lead coming out of halftime. Dallas Goedert the touchdown. Point after added on by Elliott. And the Eagles make it an 11-point ball game. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. This one's fielded at the 40-yard line. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Saints and this running back headed back out for a new series. And eventually, Brock, one of their drives is going to fail to reach that end zone. But through 3 possessions so far, they have been perfect.
Yeah, and in order for that to happen, somebody somewhere on this defense has got to rise to the occasion.
Watson on 1st and 10. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. This is a guy who's used to embracing contact, Brock. Usually makes catches in spite of it, but I guess it's tough for anybody to make a play every time.
Yeah, I think these tight ends today, Kate, spend as much time in the old ice bath as just about anybody. And when you don't make that catch and you take the contact, well, that stings like the first seconds in the ice.
A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Working from the gun, Watson. Olave with the catch. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Here's a give inside to Kamara. And they stop him after a good run that takes him down inside the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Another run for Kamara. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. He manages a gain of 8 there. And that's good for a New Orleans 1st down. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Going to the ground again on 1st. He's got a gain of 6 there. Josh Sweat making the stop. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
From the 26 on 2nd down. Taken in by Shaheed. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
I'm sure, Coach, the play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Kamara running out of the gun. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
From the 17. Short pass brought in. And he's going to be tackled, but still all the way down to the 6. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards him with a 1st and goal.
Good offenses, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after it.
And the plunge up the gut yields nothing there. No gain on the run, and we've reached the end of the 3rd quarter. We're down to 1 quarter before we determine our wild card winner. It's the Saints with the ball. Still lined up at the 6. Here's 2nd and goal. Now a run with Kamara. And he pushes them a little closer to the 3.
Well, you haven't given up the goal line yet, but this offense is moving closer and closer. Now might be the time defensively to get a little more aggressive, try to stick them with the loss, and make a difficult 4th down decision.
They'll try with Kamara. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. A gain of 2 on the play, and it sets him up 2 yards short on 4th and goal.
This front, well, they've done a good job bending and not breaking. 1st down, didn't score. 2nd down, didn't score. And now 3rd and goal, can't find the end zone either.
Nicotomni's kick is good. And that extends their lead to 14.
Those 3 points could go a long way to securing this W. Makes it a lot more comfortable knowing the other side's got to score a couple touchdowns now. Touchdown to field goals, not going to get it done anymore.
Covey now to return this. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. The Eagles about set to go on offense. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air, so expect some tighter coverage this time around. He's got Smith. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
They'll motion him out of the backfield. From the pistol, Hurts. Hits him on the out route. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. They get an even 10 on that play. And that's a Philadelphia 1st down. Shotgun snap for Hurts. Bails out of the pocket quick. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. Well, after recording the sack, it looks like he is the one who's shaken up. We're going to get a stoppage here as he gets looked at. Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. After the sack, another pass on 2nd down. Able to get it to Barkley. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down. On 4th down, Hurts. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. J-Rob Curse has the INT. And the Saints bring the interception back beyond the 40 before the tackle is made. Wow, an aggressive choice to go for it on 4th and that kind of distance. And an equally aggressive play in coverage to pick that pass off.
Yeah, that down and distance, you're not running it, right? Too far to get to the stick, so that defense had all eyes on the quarterback. They knew that pass was coming. And it's one thing to know it, it's another thing to execute it and go take it away. That's a big momentum swing for this defense.
We give on 2nd to Kamara. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
They had the 1st down by a comfortable margin right there. Remember that play call. Put that one away. Could be a money play for them the next time they're in a similar spot.
They stay on the ground with Kamara. And they'll stop him, but not until he has a nice little gain down to the 32. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3. Kamara gets it. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. So that brings us to the 2-minute warning in New Orleans. Saints nearing a win here with a 14-point lead. They're now set for 1st and 10. Running right, it's Kamara. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20. So quickly the defense burns a timeout here. 1:57 remaining in the game. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Here's a give to Kamara. And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line. No surprises here. Defense quick to stop that clock. We've got 1:53 left in this game. The drive picks up here. 1st and 10. Running behind center with Kamara. And he's going to be brought down after running this to the 8. Now whistles and a timeout taken quickly by the defense. 1:50 left to go. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Now Kamara. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. They find 7 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
That was the perfect play call for that particular situation. Gave him enough to pick up a 1st with some room to spare.
The Saints in victory formation, content to just knee this out.
This is situational football at its best. There's still some time left to bleed off the clock, but the really important thing here is you've got to bleed every second of that clock that you can. There's still some time to bleed off the clock, but the important factor is that the defense is helpless to stop it. You could just run that clock down as far as you're able and take off every single second. Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So it's a win for the Saints. And they were the top-ranked team in action in this wild card round, Brock. So this was always the expectation that they'd advance through to the divisional round. Next week, they're going to be right back here playing for a spot in that conference championship. So for my partner, Brock Heward, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Saints as we say so long from New Orleans.